In May 1945, the Soviet army captured Berlin, reducing the capital of the Third Reich to rubble. The Nazi state had completely collapsed. Inside the Führer bunker, Joseph Goebbels spent his final hours as chancellor of a destroyed nation, a title he held for exactly 1 day. Before taking their own lives, he and his wife poisoned their 6 children. Beyond his official duties, Goebbels served as Hitler's most loyal confidant and acted as the primary architect of the regime's psychological warfare. As the Minister of Public Enlightenment and Propaganda, he developed a calculated, engineered science of mass manipulation that reached far beyond simple political messaging. While the Nazi Empire was physically dismantled, the specific logic Goebbels used to control public perception survived. His methods remain the template for modern states seeking to engineer the reality of their citizens. The first phase of this strategy begins with a single realization: a regime cannot successfully sell a massive lie if independent truth is allowed to exist anywhere. Goebbels established a total media monopoly by crushing independent presses and organizing public book burnings. This ensured that only ideology-approved content could reach the public. Once the monopoly was secure, the regime began distorting facts. They reinterpreted economic failures and social unrest to exclusively favor the government's narrative. It is an audacity similar to a fully isolated nation convincing its citizens they won a global tournament they never even entered. Seizing control of the media is more than a way to hide mistakes. It is the mandatory requirement for replacing objective reality with a state-sponsored alternative. This enables the big lie. Goebbels realized that while the public might be skeptical of small falsehoods, they will readily accept a colossal one. People assume that no one would have the nerve to invent something so massive. For the big lie to take hold, it must be normalized through relentless repetition. By hammering these messages into the domestic lives of citizens through state-controlled radio, artificial slogans eventually became unquestioned truths. To prevent the public from questioning these contradictions, the regime entered the lockdown phase, where they weaponized primal human emotions. They created an outside enemy. By targeting specific groups, historically the Jewish people, the state provided a singular scapegoat for every complex societal problem. This was paired with manipulation through fear. The government manufactured a sense of a constant, looming threat that only the state could prevent. A terrified public eventually stops questioning the state. Instead of critical thought, they choose the perceived safety of authoritarian protection. While the tools have evolved from analog radios to digital algorithms, the core psychological sequence has remained unchanged for decades. We see this exact progression in modern authoritarian states, often referred to in online discourse as Mozambique or generic banana republics. Phase 1 appears when governments consolidate media into pro-regime mouthpieces, silence independent journalists, and suppress social media discourse. In Phase 2, they deploy modern big lies, claiming economic prosperity while citizens struggle, relying entirely on the repetition of nationalist slogans to bridge the gap. Phase 3 is the lockdown of fear. Governments may stage events or blame foreign powers for internal crises, using arbitrary arrests to signal that dissent is no longer an option. Joseph Goebbels' success suggests that human psychological vulnerabilities are constant. Recognizing this specific sequence of tactics is the only defense against the modern mechanics of mass deception.